We've got some interesting bugs to go through just before our Thin Toon of the Week update coming on Friday. Our first issue is to do with V. This user said V is dusty. From what me and my friend can tell, it's only V and it affects all of her skins the same. When selecting V in the lobby and in runs, if you look a little close, you can see yellow particles flying from V's model. V is the only toon that emits these yellow particles, and it happens on all of V's skins. The yellowish particles are flying from V's model, and as you can see in runs, the yellow particles are flying from V's model as well. So this problem is happening in lobby and in runs as well. These yellow particles do sometimes appear on some floors, but it is a bit strange that these yellow particles are only emitting from V and not other toons. I wonder why that is. Is it for lore reasons or is this just a bug? I wonder. Our next bug is to do with Shelly getting stuck in a very unusual way. We are used to toons getting stuck in between machines, but this problem is very different. This user said we had a run end to this ridiculous bug. Nobody has any idea how it happened, but a Shelly teleported into a wall after colliding with Sprout's tendril. Let's take a look at what happened. This happened super fast, but if you look very closely, Shelly walks towards Sprout's tendril and then gets sucked into the shelves in the corner. If we slow down the video, you can see Shelly literally being dragged into the corner. It almost looked as if a Goob pulled the Shelly into the shelf, but there was no Goob around. This is a very spooky bug, and the user also provided a picture of the exact position Shelly was in after being stuck, and as you can see, there's no way out of this area. Shelly is completely stuck. So the question is, was it something to do with Twisted Sprout's tendril? Maybe a very rare interaction occurred, causing this bug to happen. I wonder what really happened behind the scenes. Our next bug is about being forced to play as Poppy, even though you chose another toon. This user said, I just joined around as R&D. The loading was taking longer than normal. Then it skipped the normal menu of choosing and just made me Poppy when I was Razzle and Dazzle. There was two other people I think was turned into Poppy. They were both something else. And as you can see from the photo, this user was forced to play as Poppy on floor 1 even though they chose Razzle and Dazzle, but the pre-game menu didn't show for them. So the game chose Poppy for them? It's definitely an unusual bug. It seems like the game just completely skipped the pre-game menu where you choose your trinkets and toon and forced players to play as Poppy. Our next bug is to do with Twisted Connie possessing machines. As you know, when Twisted Connie possesses a completed machine, the light turns red to confuse you. However, this user said, you know when Twisted Connie possesses a machine, the light turns red? Yeah, I saw her possess a machine and the light stayed green all the way till she left the machine. Then they said, I'll try to get footage, but a friend of mine also had the same thing happened, so now I'm just confused. So it seems like a few people have experienced Twisted Connie possessing a completed machine. However, instead of the machine lights turning red, it stayed green. Could this just be a texture loading problem, or could this be something deeper? I haven't seen any other bug reports about this problem, but we'll see in the future if other users experience a similar thing. Our next bug is to do with Twisteds being able to see through a particular model on the warehouse floor. This user and another user have experienced a similar thing. This user said, weird bug where I was spotted by Tegan through a barrier. This might just be due to old server. Let's take a look. So Yatta goes on the treadmill machine and then Twisted Tegan spots the Yatta through this barricade. There's clearly no way for Twisted Tegan to see the Yatta because of this wall blocking the two, but somehow Twisted Tegan was able to see the Yatta. I thought this was maybe an isolated case. However, this user also experienced the same thing in the same spot on the same map. This user said, somehow Twisted Cosmo saw me through the wall. And again, what's interesting is that this different player is using Yatta as well. However, it was a Twisted Cosmo that saw them. As you can see on the right hand side, you can just about see Twisted Cosmo Cosmo's head. So I wonder if it's a problem to do with Yatta, or is it a problem to do with this specific model with the boxes and the shelves. We have had Twisteds being able to see through walls in the past. If you remember, Twisted Gordy was able to spot you through walls, so this is not a new problem. Hopefully the dev team can figure out if that same bug has emerged. Next up, we have an immortality bug that many users have experienced where a toon cannot die to Twisteds, and this is how it occurs. This user said Louis left right as everyone in the lobby started loading in, which caused his T-posing model to spawn in despite him no longer being present, and that decoy was invincible. The thing is, Twisteds always chose to target specifically him while completely ignoring the stealth as shown in the first clip. Then the user goes on to say this could potentially be a game-breaking strategy for long runs which needs to be patched ASAP. Let's take a look at what happened. So it seems like when a player leaves the game just as everybody's loading into floor 1, sometimes their model can still be in the game even though the player left the run. As you can see, this Louis player left the game but their model is still in the run, and Twisteds are attracted to this decoy model, and it seems like the decoy model has a stealth of 1 or even lower, and as you can imagine, this could be a very powerful strategy for distracting Twisteds. As you can see, the decoy is unable to move because there's no player controlling the decoy toon. However, if there is a Goob on the team, Goob will be able to pull the decoy into the elevator and continue using the decoy as a distraction strategy. As you can imagine, you can use this decoy to distract all Twisteds and speedrun to high floors. The dev team have not made any comment about this bug and how powerful it is. Our next bug is to do with V's passive and active ability. As you can see, this player has their V active ability highlighting different assets on the floor. As you can see, this rope is highlighted. I have never seen other assets get highlighted by V's ability before. I wonder what triggered this problem. Something in the code definitely got messed up. And in this example, V's ability has highlighted a capsule. Isn't that interesting? And there are other more weird things highlighted, like this handle has been highlighted as well. I wonder if other players have experienced something like this. Our next bug is to do with Goob and Gigi. This user said, I found out about this on YouTube and decided to try it. Goob with Gigi's animations. That sounds quite bizarre. Let's take a look. So when you use Gigi to go into the roleplay mode, so now that the player is in roleplay mode, when you turn into Goob and continue selecting Goob as a toon, eventually Goob has Gigi's animations, as you can see, but eventually you do get kicked from the game for inappropriate usage of animations. It seems like this bug has been spreading around on social media and a lot of players have been trying this bug. It's really interesting to see a toon with another toon's animations. As you can see, Goob's hands are just like Gigi's hands in that position, and the hands are even moving the same as Gigi as well. The dev team have not commented on this bug, but that's super fascinating.